I'm Colin Cruz, and I oversee the taught MA in art history, and that also brings me into contact with people who are doing the MA in fine art. And of course, students can do a combination of those. They can do joint fine art and art history, and they can do a kind of mixture, which isn't quite joint, but it has bits of one and bits of the other. I wanted, having come from an art school background, wanted to come back to something that had both some of the, I think, very positive aspects about studying art and art history within a unit designated to that. So it's very much designated to the study both of the theory and practice and the history of art. Students, I think, take the opportunity, which is pretty unique, of working very closely and actually hands-on with a collection, which is a teaching collection of these very important artifacts. That, I think, also builds up a certain atmosphere of people actually engaging firsthand with art. It's not just something on a wall, it's not something that they just read about theoretically or in textbooks. They actually brought into contact with important works of art. We have a very open attitude to students, allowing them, I'd use this a word again, negotiate a relationship with the subject, which entails negotiating a relationship with you as the supervisor. So I think there's a very healthy, open attitude towards students and their projects here. This department actually is a department that works both on theory and practice, and we've been very lucky in growing a body of PhD students who want to work on particular aspects of what we might say kind of visual culture rather than art history. So it's kind of interdisciplinary aspect of these subjects. With a kind of very fluid, negotiated MA like this, which is partly to do with teaching people on a seminar program and partly to do with one-to-one tutorial and developing research ideas for projects, I think that's ideal for people at a certain stage of their career. We're very interested in the way in which art is viewed publicly as a public presence through exhibition, through curatorial activity. So many of us, it's quite a small department of course, but many of us actually work actively in relation to public exhibition, museums and galleries. That's another thing that unites several of us, is an interest in not just the public interface of works of art, but actually how they're reproduced, how they're multiplied. So print, photography, reprographics, these are all things that we deal with. So lots of ways in which members of the staff could join in that project, although there will be one main supervisor and a secondary supervisor. Actually, that student will benefit from being in an environment where printmaking takes place. There are people who are experts on the technicalities of printmaking, as well as people who are interested in the history of 20th century print. So it's a very nice package.